All right, so right now at my car dealership, what do? We just slash prices. Another day, another auction. I watched 2 go through and I left. Prices were absolutely ridiculous. Some of our sales staff just came back here and said, you know what? We're not allowed to do YouTube anymore. Dealer auctions are really struggling right now is because they're trying to nickel and dime. They're trying to add fees on everything. All right, so today I am at the auction, and usually it's an auction I don't go to. We buy cars from here, but Alex usually comes to this auction. But he is sick today, so I get to come to the auction today. And obviously, the day that he chooses to be sick, it is pouring. So Alex, next time you're going to be sick, if you don't mind, sunny, about 70 degrees is what I prefer if I'm going to an auction. No, but no, he's fine. I hope he gets better soon. But I get to go play in the rain today. And what's interesting about this auction today is that this is the first auction after tax time has hit us. It hit us Thursday of last week, and we had a few days that were really good, and I'm assuming that all other dealers saw some tax money too. So this is the first auction that we're going to post that first wave. So I'm expecting to probably not buy anything, but we have to go and try anyway. This is an auction, unfortunately. It's a bigger auction. I cannot film here, so you are not going to be able to see what the cars are, the cars that are running through, what they're bringing or whatever. But I'm going to update you as soon as I'm done with it. So what is going to be a miserable 2.5 to 3 hours for me is going to be just a couple seconds for you. So I'll see you in a couple seconds. All right, so I messed up. So I was going into this auction anticipating that I wasn't going to buy anything. So what we usually do when we go into these auctions before the sale starts, we go check out cars and we get ourselves a little list, make sure cars are good that we're going to bid on. So I didn't check them very hard because I didn't think I was going to be able to buy anything. Tax time's hit, prices are going to go crazy, right? So I only had 4 on my list, and I ended up buying 7 and a if, and I got an if bid. None of which were on my list of cars that I checked out to be good before the sale's going through. So when the auction was going down, this is stupid to say. When the auction was going down, the cars were running through. They seemed very, very cheap to me. So I just kept raising my hand and buying stuff. So I might have made an oopsie. Maybe I bought a bunch of cars that were junk, but everything seemed like it was a pretty good price, except for the ones that are on my list, obviously. So that's interesting. So that means that these other dealers that are buying today, they have not experienced tax time the same way that my dealership has, which might mean that the market's not going to be in good shape because if a lot of dealers have prepared for tax time and it's not really coming to fruition like a lot of them have anticipated, then sales might not be good and they might not be able to buy is what looks like from here. But maybe we just caught the first little wave of tax time at our dealership and it really hasn't popped really hard yet. If that's the case, then we're going to sell everything when it actually does pop. But I don't think that's the case. I think that tax time's here and there's not as much money in the system. So a lot of you that were saying that the tax refunds were going to be a lot less, you're probably right. And for whatever reason, we're doing well. It might just be because the economy's worse and because inflation is really high and people have less money to spend. Maybe that's pushing them to our prices, and that's why we're busy and a lot of other dealers aren't busy. I don't know. We'll find out probably in the next couple weeks or so, because usually tax time comes in waves. So we got our first wave last week. Maybe we'll get another wave this week. You just have to hang around and see. So make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell. And I bought 7 cars and I paid $17,065. $17,000 for 7 cars. I got 1 if, and it was $1,800. So still for 8 cars, if I get my if, then it's less than $20,000. So prices, I don't know, seem good. It's probably bad for the market, but good for us. Anyway, stay tuned. Also, if I bought a bunch of turds, I'm very sorry, Alex. And this is your fault for being sick. You shouldn't have been sick, and then I wouldn't have been responsible for buying all these cars that I shouldn't have bought. So, really, it's your fault. All right, selling more cars today, and I had a viewer actually bring me one of these because he was worried about my safety taking these stickers off with just that razor blade. So, Philip, thank you. You are protecting my hands. Look how easy that was. Look, I just take this little thing right here, and there you go. Just pop the side of it, and I'm not going to cut myself while doing it. So I appreciate that. He came in and he said, "Brandon, I'm worried about your safety. I saw you pulling up those stickers," and I was like, that idiot pulling off he didn't say that, but he was thinking it. He was thinking that stupid guy just putting that razor blade and he's going to cut himself. And to be honest with you, when I was filming that video, when I was actually getting the stickers off with the razor blade, I did cut myself. So thanks, Philip. I appreciate it. All right, so right now at my car dealership, what do? We just slash prices. And I know what you're saying, Brandon, why would you do this while you're in the midst of tax time, when you're in the midst of selling all these cars and you're almost out of cars because you're selling so many? Well, because I want to make sure we sell all of these cars before all the tax money runs out. So there's a few different scenarios. Okay, maybe tax time's already over and we slash our prices, we sell some cars, we get rid of them, we reset. There's another scenario where, okay, tax money's not done and we're going to continue to see more tax money and we could still be busy. And in that scenario, yeah, maybe we leave some money on the table, but we still get rid of all of these cars that are going to be more expensive now than they will be in a month or so. So still a good thing for us. We might lose a little bit of money on the front end, but we're going to make sure we're not stuck with anything. And then there's the scenario where, okay, there's still a little bit of tax money left and there's not another big wave that's coming. In that scenario too, it's good for us to reduce our prices because we want to go ahead and get rid of everything. So either way, any way you spin how tax time is going to unfold from here, we want to stay ahead of the curve, and the way that we do that is by actually lowering our prices. So we are working back here editing some videos, and some of our sales staff just came back here and said, you know what, we're not allowed to do YouTube anymore because they need help up there because they continue to sell. It's it's 12:30 right now, and they've already sold 6 again. So tax money continues to roll in, and we continue to sell cars. So you might get one less video this week because we don't have time to put it together. So one thing I've really always hated about the car market and what dealers do is that they'll do these weird kind of pricing. If you see all these prices that you see on my cars when I'm walking past them, they're always even numbers. So, but most of the time when you're going to a dealership, you'll see $39.99 on a vehicle. Obviously, that's a $4,000 car, but there's a psychological element to it, and that's why if you go to Walmart, everything will be $9.99, whatever. But there's studies out there saying that if a customer sees something for $9.99, they're more likely to buy it than they are for something that's even $10. Now, we know it's the same price. It's only 1 penny off. And on a car lot, if it was $39.99, it's $1 difference, right? But it's the same price. But I don't really want to try to manipulate my customer, and that's what I feel like that $39.99 price point would do. So you're always going to see round numbers at my dealership. Never going to do that crap where they do the $39.99 or whatever. It's never made me feel good about how I'm pricing my vehicles. So that's just one thing that you'll see across the car market with what a lot of dealers do, and you're not going to see it here because I think it's kind of sleazy, and I'm not trying to do that. Trying to be as transparent as possible, and the way to do that is round numbers. And also, we don't have any fees or anything like that. No, not even any doc fees. See, $4,000 on a car, that's what you're going to pay for it. All right, I'm hearing from other car dealers, either they're just lights out, they're selling everything they got, or they're not selling anything at all. So for you car dealers who are not selling stuff, you're not seeing tax money, you're not busy right now, and you're seeing me out here, we're selling everything. We're going to be out of cars in probably a week and a half. It means your prices are too high. Lower your prices. We're busy, and we're already slashing prices because you have to make sure you get rid of all of these cars. You know what's coming. You know all these dealers are getting overexposed right now. They're paying too much for cars, and the wholesale prices are going to crash when the money's gone. You know this is going to happen. Don't be one of those dealers stuck with your inventory. Slash your prices. Get rid of the stuff you have. Don't be proud about it. Get rid of your cars so you can get better prices later, and then you can sell those cars. Don't be one of those dealers that's going to get stuck. please, I'm begging you. If you're watching me, I'm trying to help you out, especially if you're a dealer that's been created over the last 3 years. You don't know what a normal car market looks like. That's what we're getting to right now. Wholesale prices will drop. Prices will get better as money goes away. Get rid of your cars. Get rid of them now. Don't let a customer walk out of your door without selling them a car. Make it cheap enough. Sell it. So just to show you how bad some of these dealers are hurting, I just went to an auction and there was a 2022 Jeep Grand Cherokee there running through the auction, and it had 2,000 miles on it. So this is basically a brand new Jeep. And what we're seeing from these Stellantis dealers is that, okay, they still have brand new 2022s sitting on their lot, and they have 2023s now sitting there, tons of 2023s, and now they've got 2024s that are rolling in. So what this dealer has basically said by sending this Jeep to the auction is, I'm tired of paying for it on my floor plan, and I don't think that we're going to be able to sell it on our lot, so we're just going to dump it to another dealer. And if you can only imagine how much they have paid on this Jeep for their floor plan. And they're deciding now that they're going to take a big loss on it. So that Jeep, it sold for, I think it was like $42,000 or $43,000. And this is probably a Jeep that they had on their lot for $55,000, $57,000 that they were trying to sell it for. So they took a substantial loss on this Jeep, not only today when they sold it, but over the last 2 years that they had it sitting on their lot, just eating up floor plan month after month after month. And a lot of these dealers are going to have to come to this conclusion with these 2022s that are still sitting out there everywhere. Okay, what are we doing? What are we doing right now? Are we just going to continue to pay $500 each month to keep this on our floor plan, or are we just going to take a $10,000 loss right now and dump it to another dealer? Because when they send it to auction, yes, they are going to take a significant loss because these other dealers know that they don't want to buy these Jeeps unless they're getting a significant discount where they can actually sell it to a customer, because the amount that these new dealerships are trying to sell these Jeeps for, these $50,000 to $57,000 on these Jeep, this was an Overland, they're not going to get it. So they have to take a loss. They have to dump it at these auctions if they want to move it. All right, another day, another auction. Alex is still sick, so hopefully he'll get better soon. But because he's sick, I am going to another auction where hopefully I'm not going to buy a bunch of trash, because he is better at picking out cars than I am. He knows how much it's going to cost for him to fix it. He knows how much time it's going to cost him to fix it. I'm pretty good at buying cars and knowing how to not buy ones that are already blown up, but as far as the little things that need to be fixed, I'm not checking them out as well as Alex is, so we really, really, really want him to come back so I don't buy him a bunch of work. But really, it's his fault if he's got to work on them more, because he should have chose not to be sick. Let's go. And unfortunately, this is not an auction that I can film at, so I am going to just tell you what happens after it's done. See you in a few seconds, probably. So that's more of what I expected. I had 4 on my list, and I watched 2 go through, and I left. Prices were absolutely ridiculous. So all these other dealers, they're getting smacked in the face with tax time too. So we're probably done buying for the next 3 weeks. I went to an auction yesterday too, and I thought we were going to be done buying there. I was able to buy a lot for whatever reason, but prices were absolutely insane. Just to give you an example, there was a 2005 Mercury Grand Marquis, however you say that. It's got 166,000 miles. We typically buy those for about $1,500, and we can sell them for $2,500 if it's super nice, $3,000. And it went for $2,800. I wanted to pay $1,500 for it, and it sold for $2,800. So that's how much prices go up during this time, and why we're probably not going to be buying cars for the next little bit, is because I'm not paying these prices and then getting stuck with a bunch of this inventory that these dealers are paying way too much for. So they can have it. They can have it. I don't want it. So one segment of the car market that I don't think we talk about enough are the dealer auctions. And a lot of these auctions I go to, there are fees for everything. But I saw a new fee today, and it was a fee for arbitrating your vehicle. And for those of you that don't know what arbitration is, when you buy a car at a dealer auction, sometimes they're sold on a green light, meaning they have basically a warranty on the car, and they guarantee the motor, the transmission on it. But I've never seen a fee to arbitrate this vehicle to try to get your money back if the motor and the transmission is bad. And this is just another way that we can see that dealer auctions are really struggling right now, is because they're trying to nickel and dime. They're trying to add fees on everything. Just over the last 3 years, we've seen buyer fees go up by almost 50% at these dealer auctions. And the reason why they have to do this is because their volume has come down so much. See, how these dealer auctions make money is through transactions. They get buyer fees, they get seller fees, and when they put the sales together, then that's when they get paid. So the auctions don't really care where the price of these vehicles go. They care that they're actually moving vehicles through the auction. And just this auction that's right down the road from me, they used to do about 900 cars, and now they're lucky to do about 400. So you can see how much that their volume has come down, and they're getting hit in the pocketbook right now because these dealers, these new car dealers, are not selling a lot of cars. They're not selling a lot of cars. They're not getting a lot of trade-ins. If they're not getting trade-ins, they're not sending cars to auction, and that's where these auctions make money, is volume. And if they're not making it through the volume, they got to make it somewhere else. So they're charging us fees, fees, fees. And then there's the scenario where I just did 2 scenarios. Let's see here. What's the third scenario? All right. Is that good? Junk here. I don't want people to see. So one element. Buy anything. Tax time's hit. Prices are going to go crazy, right? Prices are going to go crazy, right? So, going to build their vehicles going forward, and my phone just went off.